Optimal living, living optimally.
Welcome to Optimal Living Starts Here. I am your host, Versandra Kennebrew, and it's a beautiful day in the Chattahoochee Valley where we are visiting one of the premier locations in this area for retreats and events. The location, I want you to see the images because they tell the story of what happens when you arrive here at the Lakeside Retreat and Event Center. I have a couple of guests joining me, and we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of environment and atmosphere for well being. As you know, this show is all about supporting veterans and their families, active duty military, and living more healthy, happy lives. And what other place would there be for you to have such an experience than this beautiful facility that is, I know, the best kept secret in this area? So for now, we're going to talk for just a few moments with my very special guest, Andres Harris. Andres is going to just share a few things about the importance of atmosphere and environment for well-being. She is the CEO of Legacy Design and Investments, and so she loves to provide a beautiful space for people to come and really enjoy themselves, and making sure that at that time while they're there, they're actually being filled up with this beautiful energy that helps them to live well. Andres, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Yes.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Just to talk a little bit about environment, like we have talked in the prior about well-being and what that means. Environment means a lot to our well-being, the way we feel and our mood, and what it does for us. Having a clear space, having a beautiful space, space that fits our character and what we want to feel in our homes, in our workspace, things like that. One of the things we talked about optimum wellness is the providing colors and plants and all kinds of things to your environment that will actually keep your attitude and your what do you want to call it? Your vibe right, keep your vibe right. And that's one of the things I actually love to do. I consult, I do things with people, work with them to get them where they need and get them we'll say placement. Yes. A lot of times where to place things, how to help them see their vision and make it happen. So that's one of the things that the company provides. And we were talking about that in the form of wellness and how to do that. And one of the things that Vassandra and I have talked about is where would we have our veterans retreat?
Yeah.
Where would they enjoy themselves, and how would they, could we expand and do better the next retreat? And she came up with this space here that she's been collaborating with Storm.
Yeah.
And here we are today in this beautiful retreat space at Lakeside.
Yes.
Retreat Center, and it's a wonderful space. Like she said, the best kept secret in Alabama.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you talked a little bit about the colors, and you talked about lighting. I know before the interview you talked about lighting, and we also want to consider aroma.
Yes, aromatherapy, using the different things, the natural things, whether you use candles or incense, or if you want to use essential oils, those types of things, because that's something we all have in common. We were talking about using, atomizers to create a nice aroma in the room and set the mood and set the tone. So those things are really important. Also good for your well-being to bring down stress, and uplift your mood. So yes. That's a big part of well-being. And we've noticed that because she also does, the art of touch.
Yeah.
And art of touch, a lot of times you're using different things to help get that person relaxed and distressed,
yes,
in a well-being state.
Yes. Earlier today, we were out doing yoga outside. at Art of Yoga, and that was such a wonderful experience, laying out in the grass and letting the sun kiss your face while you're doing these movements. And that is another thing that this wonderful retreat center offers, is yoga retreats.
Yes.
And we know it's all the rave these days. It's not just a fad, because it's definitely been around for thousands of years, but people are really enjoying the opportunity to be out in nature and experience such a thing. So as you're talking about that, I couldn't help but allow my mind to wonder as I was walking around the grounds here. One of the things that happens is the aroma of all of the trees and plants and flowers that are around you.
Yes.
Can you just imagine when people come here to this facility, they have the opportunity to enjoy the inside with nature around, and then they have the opportunity to go out in nature and experience those same type of elements as well. So we do have the general manager of this facility that is joining us as well. His name is Storm Williams. You may have seen him on television. I'm going to put that out there because I know that you are watching, and if you are local to this area, you may have seen him and you're saying, he's a star. And he is all of that. Storm is a phenomenal manager here in this facility. I've been here multiple times, and each time he has taken me on a wonderful tour. He has actually made all of my guests feel very comfortable, because when you're planning a retreat, it does require that you visit a facility multiple times to get the look and feel and atmosphere, as we talked about, and make sure that the setting is just right. And so what I know about Storm is that he enjoys customizing the experience for you. There are a few guidelines, because we are in a location that does not require or does not allow things like smoking and drinking. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in this interview. But for the most part, his goal is to make sure you have a warm and fun experience here on the grounds. Storm, do you mind telling our audience a little bit about this location, maybe a little history about it, and what else would you like our audience to know about this Lakeside Retreat Center?
So this place is so rich in history. It really is. Many years ago, this was a Indian reservation. That's where it actually gets the name Uchi, because the Uchi Indian tribe, they lived out here. And then after some time, this became a country club, actually. So people would come out and play golf and spend time with their family on the lake, or there was a pool and other options for people to do. And then about 2001, this property was given to Teen Challenge for adolescent girls. And so originally it was built for an adolescent girls program. And from there, this Lakeside Retreat was built really for the family aspect, family restoration. Their families come every 2 months and visit with them. So it was built for that, and then also for Teen Challenge to have a central place for them to meet and hold conferences and things like that. And then we just realized, man, this is so great. Why don't we market this to the public? And so we've been being really aggressive probably for the past 5-6 years in trying to market it to the public. And then COVID really, it started to pick up some steam, and then COVID hit it like everything. And so we're now trying to just pick up steam again and just really bring people in. And we know that when people come out here, the venue sells itself. I mean, when you get on our property, I feel like you can feel just that spirit of peace in this place. Immediately, you're just overwhelmed by like the beauty of nature. And so I believe that, you know, just the environment and the atmosphere, it really does what it's supposed to. When people arrive, they automatically are just able to unwind, leave the things that they're carrying on their shoulders, leave it at the sign, you know what I mean? And so, and every time we have an event, I see that people they're relaxed and they have the time of their life. And so that's our goal, is that our guests would have the time of their life. And especially with events, if you have any experience in events, it can be so stressful. Yeah. And so we try to eliminate stress as much as possible. That's something we take pride in, is our service. We try to model ourselves after Chick-fil-A, that my pleasure service. No matter really whatever you're asking, if we can make it happen, we'll make it happen, because that's what we believe makes a good business. Going the extra mile for our clients.
Yes, going the extra mile. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what Storm really enjoys most about this wonderful opportunity, is going the extra mile to make sure that every guest has a wonderful experience. Now, there is so much to talk about, because as you were speaking, I was like, oh, these bullet points just kept popping up. But I think it is very important that we let you know, because he mentioned Teen Challenge. So let's just talk for a little bit, because we do know that when individuals come here to this facility for retreats and events, a portion of the proceeds benefits Teen Challenge. So tell us, what is Teen Challenge?
Yeah. So Teen Challenge is a faith-based program for men, women, and adolescents. And so it's a nonprofit because it's faith-based. And so typically people come to Teen Challenge at their last road. It's usually when people have hit their rock bottom, they come to Teen Challenge and they enter in probably one of the hardest programs they'll ever have to go through, because it's 12 months for the adults, 12 to 15 months actually, because the adolescents have to be here for 15 months. And they're working through, trauma and pain from their past, kind of trying to find healing from those things that led them to behavioral issues or drug addiction or alcoholism. And so really it's just, Teen Challenge is founded on the gospel. And, that's what Teen Challenge has done for over 60 years, is brought people that have no hope and try to help them experience the hope that can be found through Christ.
Right.
And so really Teen Challenge is just a Jesus-centered program who believes that Jesus is the answer.
Yes.
So, we believe that this can be an asset to helping people get free from addiction.
Right. It's important for our audience to know that although we are here at a local site, and this is only one of the local sites that Teen Challenge operates, if you've watched this show since its inception, then you know that our very first show was filmed inside of the Teen Challenge Southeast corporate headquarters, which is where my office is located. And so as we think about Teen Challenge and the work that it does locally and globally, we're talking about over 140 countries that Teen Challenge is located in. And I've got to say that is very impressive to me, because what that says is that this message that Storm is talking about, we're talking about love. We're talking about Jesus is love, 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 love. If you think about that, what does love do? It is an action word for one, and it wraps its arms around individuals who are in need, and it helps them to become restored to their perfect, whole, and complete self. Because let me tell you, we'll talk about that at another episode, but I'm just telling you, we were made in the image and likeness of God, and we deserve to have these type of spaces to help us to connect, help us to have a place to reflect, and just really get in tune with what God has for us in our lives, in every aspect of our lives. Now, I also know that I have seen conferences of faith-based organizations from all around the world here.
Yeah.
One time I came by, I was like, oh my God, there's about 1,000 cars in the parking lot. But what I do know is people do travel from all around the country to use this facility, sometimes in buses, cars.
Yeah.
And it's just a wonderful thing to see that right here in the Chattahoochee Valley, something like this is available to organizations, churches, and individuals. So let's talk a little bit about the lodging.
Yeah. So one thing that I would say about Lakeside, that really sets us apart from other spaces, it is so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
This space, if I could think of a word to describe just this space as a whole, it's dynamic.
Yes.
I mean, one day we could be having a women's retreat from a church, and then next month we could be having a big business conference.
Yes.
So really, it's so versatile that we could use it for many different organizations and things.
Yeah.
But we can accommodate about 127 guests overnight.
Right.
So we have 43 rooms fully functioning right now. That entails king suites, double queen rooms, and also we have bunk rooms for like youth groups, things
Right.
like that. And so, and with talking about the conference room, that can accommodate over 200 people.
Right.
And that's for dining and also stadium style seating.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I mean, there's definitely bigger spaces, but you can put on a pretty amazing event with that much space
Yes.
to accommodate.
You're absolutely right. And one thing that I noticed is that in one of the rooms, there is actually a child care center there. Now, the center, the Lakeside does not provide you with the people who run the center for the kids or the room for the kids, but it's a beautiful room that is set up that has all kinds of toys and activities and things. So if you have a child care provider that is with your organization and you're bringing lots of adults and you want to make sure that the children have a space of their own that they can really enjoy and have fun in, that is available right here on the site as well. I thought that was a wonderful benefit.
And an outdoor space too, with
Yes.
the playground and everything.
Yes, the playground. There's the
Yes.
fire pits and the outside eating and dining
Yeah.
area. Oh my, that's covered,
Right.
by the way. So even if there is a rainstorm or something that happens to come over while you're here on the beautiful grounds, there is covered space as well for your event. So you will not have a washout.
That's right. We've never had a washout.
That is
Because it's so
wonderful.
versatile.
Yes, yes. This is so good. I want to just talk a little bit more, Andres, about atmosphere and what does water do for atmosphere
Wow.
and environment?
The first thing I thought, how I feel about water. So refreshment,
Yes.
refreshing. Also reflection.
Yes.
A lot of times we go to the water and we reflect. You sit there and you watch the water, whether it's still or whether it's moving, and it just creates something, for me anyway, still water, and that reflection makes it meditative and gives you that inner peace, that stillness. The water's still, you're still, and you have that moment. And then I like the water when I go down to the side and it's rushing. It gives me that full rush of that excitement about life.
Yes.
That's where I can put it anyway.
Yeah. So even the water is very beneficial as it comes to, as we're speaking about the experience that you will have here. And there are multiple, I think I saw a couple of ponds. I think I saw, there's of course a lake. This is the Mott Lake, I believe it is. Yes, Mott Lake. And these are things that you can check out on Google and do a little bit more research on. But I'm really happy that Storm mentioned the history of this site. And I know that Uchi also is a part of the grounds for Fort Benning. I'm I'm like, oh my God. And Fort Benning, by the way, for those who are watching and you're not really familiar with the area, Fort Benning is the largest military facility as far as Army is concerned. And it spans Georgia and Alabama. And so part of this facility it has the Uchi land is a part of that as well. And so there's a lot of history. So you can just imagine as you're walking through the grounds, how many acres is this on? I can't remember exactly, but I remember being on the website or something. It seems like it was like 100 acres or something, but I might be mistaken. But anyway, it's huge. The property is huge, and you do have an option for kind of walking around, doing some hiking. You know, if you enjoy foraging in nature and finding your special herbs and things like that, I'm sure you'll find several of those things out on this property.
And you
So
find that life-giving water.
life-giving water, absolutely, absolutely. So as we prepare to wrap up, I would like for you to look into that camera. This is your opportunity to speak to the thousands of viewers that are local and the hundreds of thousands that are tuning in on YouTube, even after it's aired on television. Let them know what you really want them to know about this facility and about creating their own unique experiences here for their conferences, retreats, and other activities.
Yeah. So as Versandra introduced this place, she said it was the Chattahoochee Valley's best kept secret, and I know that that's the truth. But we'd really like to change that. I think about we're literally 2 minutes from Russell County High School, and I know that name rings a bell for so many of you because you probably went to school there, and you had no idea about this place. And so I encourage you. First off, look us up online at mylakesideevent.com and see our options and see if we can accommodate some type of family reunion, church retreat, birthday party, wedding. Whatever if you can envision it, we can make it happen. And so, I just say visit the website, give me a call at 334-855-0876, and let's make your retreat happen.
As I'm thinking about retreats here, I would be remiss if I did not mention that our Veterans Family Retreat that happens every single year will be happening right here on these grounds. I'm thinking right now about the menu and the fact that it is catered. I don't have to worry about bringing food with me. Right. I am thinking about the fact that I saw grills out there. So that means that some of the food, depending on what I choose, can be prepared in a healthy way. This show is all about health and wellness. So we definitely want you to know that when you come here, you do have the options for healthy food that supports your well-being. That's really good. There's also a beautiful coffee shop. Some of us are really kind of addicted, if you will, to coffee. Coffee and tea. So there is an option for that in your day when you're coming for your relaxation experience. And you can maybe try some of the herbal teas and the assistance of the gentlemen and the women who are working here on site. It's just absolutely amazing. They will make sure that you are happy and that you have the things that you are looking for. I do understand that some customization may be available for you if the menu that is provided is not as adequate. We don't want to have them jumping over backwards or anything, but I really like the fact that Storm has kind of open himself up to kind of customize the menu where necessary. But even just looking at it at face value, I can see that there are offerings for people that enjoy all different kinds of food. And even as simple as I think I saw a hot dog bar or something like that. So if you have
Yeah.
kids and you want to just put some weenies on the grill, you can do that too. So it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience being here on the grounds again of the beautiful Lakeside Retreat and Event Center. And remember that while you are here, a portion of your proceeds benefits an organization that is sincerely transforming lives. As I think about the teens, the adults, they go through this program. Some of them have gut-wrenching stories of the things that they experienced before finding this unique space. And so this is one of the reasons why I chose this destination, because I'm really about making sure that everything that we do not only benefits us at the moment, but it has a bigger picture behind it where others are benefited in the process. And I am super excited to be here, a part of the Beam TV network. And we are going to make sure that you learn more about what you can do when you come here. And we'll also keep you abreast of the upcoming Veterans Family Retreat that will be here right on this site. You've been listening to Versandra Kennebrew, and it is my pleasure to be your host each and every week on Beam TV. And for now, we expect you to have a beautiful day, because it is absolutely fabulous out in the Chattahoochee Valley.
Optimal living.